Welcome to the Peter Joe Podcast, where we talk about everything from life and mental health to entertainment and past and current events. Thank you for joining us. Let's begin, my fellow Peters. Welcome back to the Peter Joe Podcast. Welcome back. Holy fuck. Let me repeat that. Holy fuck. I have an amazing review for you because this movie was amazing. This may have been the most powerful yet subtle movie I've ever seen. I'm talking about Whiplash. Yes, it's an older movie. It came out 9 years ago in 2014. I always heard about this movie. I never watched it. I watched it this morning and goddamn, my mind was blown. So the film, it paints a fine line between motivation and mental abuse. The performance by J.K. Simmons, you would know him from, he played J. Jonah Jameson from the Spider-Man franchise. He plays the main dude in this, the jazz instructor Terrence Fletcher. And my God, is this dude a fucking piece of shit. He's a very intelligent character, but he just treats his students like shit. And that is the basis for the movie. So J.K. Simmons, in this role, he was nominated for several Academy Awards, which were well-deserved. I don't think he won them, but he was nominated for a bunch. So the story is about a kid named Andrew Neiman, played brilliantly by an actor named Miles Teller. So Andrew Neiman is an aspiring jazz drummer who joins an elite jazz conservatory. This is the place you want to be as an upcoming jazz musician. So Andrew starts off the movie as a shy, but he's like an extremely talented kid. He knows how to drum. He meets Fletcher, his instructor at the Institute, and Fletcher fucking brings this poor kid to tears after he endures getting verbally and physically abused by Fletcher. This first scene with him basically screaming in Andrew's face that he's not getting the rhythm right or the tone it's really captivating. It's sad. You feel for this young kid. Excuse me, I just burped. But this Fletcher douchebag is slapping him around, cursing at him, telling him he sucks, he's never going to make it, etc. Oh, this really drives me nuts. But, okay, so you got all this shit going on. This dude's getting abused. This teacher is just, like I said, a piece of shit, this instructor. So this instructor, Fletcher, does this to all three drummers in the rotation during the film, but he mainly gives it the hardest to Andrew. This happens throughout the film. Andrew loses his starting gig over and over. He has to regain it back. So throughout the course of the film, Andrew goes from shy and unsure of himself to like an obsessive, I want to be the best fucking drummer that's ever existed, okay? So he becomes obsessed, almost possessed on his journey to be the best drummer. And a lot of this is because he wants to impress his fucking asshole instructor. So you can feel this change about halfway through the movie. It really leaves you appreciating the writing, the directing. The camera angles during the drumming performances are top-notch. So we get to see the main performance for the jazz band and Andrew. And on his way to the show, Andrew's bus unfortunately gets a flat, and he has to quickly rent a car. So we see this whole scene. He's running late to the performance. He keeps checking his watch, checking the time in the car. He looks like he's going to be late because he has to rent a car instead of taking the bus, which broke down with a flat. So he finally gets there, okay? And Fletcher, like I said, he's played by J.K. Simmons, who also played Jameson, the news reporter on Spider-Man, okay? So he gets his car. He finally makes it there. And Fletcher, the fucking instructor, basically blatantly tells him, you're not going to perform tonight. I'm getting the backup to do it. Okay? Fletcher, with his big set of beautiful, veiny balls. He just goes to Fletcher. He goes, I'm going to fucking perform. Basically talking shit back to his instructor, who the instructor Fletcher is not used to this. So he's like, what the fuck did you just say to me? Then he looks at Andrew's hands. He's like, you don't have fucking drumsticks. How do you expect to perform? Andrew's like, oh, fuck. I'll be right back. Give me 5 minutes. I left him in the car. He actually left him at the rental place. So he has to get back in the car. He has to drive back to the fucking rental place. And he gets his drumsticks. You see him, the next scene, he's in his car texting, which is very realistic. He's texting on his phone to one of the members in the band. He's like, oh, tell him I'll be there. Tell Fletcher I'll be there. And all of a sudden, he's texting, and you see this fucking Mack truck just hit the driver's side. He crashes. The car flips. He's bloody. He's fucking just been through it. He gets up. He somehow crawls out of the flipped over car. And this scene is so intense. Oh, he also grabs his drumsticks. He makes sure to grab his drumsticks, obviously. So this scene was so like sweat-inducing, drama-laced, anxiety-ridden. It was just a brilliant piece of cinematic action. You couldn't have written this movie better, honestly. So Andrew gets in this accident. Like I said, his car gets wrecked, gets flipped over. So what does a drumming maniac do? What does he do? He grabs his fucking drumsticks and crawls out of the car. He's only a block away from the performance hall, so he makes it. He gets up on stage. He's covered in blood. He's still actively bleeding. He's on the cusp of passing the fuck out. And then he starts playing with the band. The instructor Fletcher is looking at him like, what the fuck is going on? He still leads the band into the performance, okay? At this point, Andrew is a fucking mess. Like, his eyes are like half closed. He can't hold on to the drumstick. He drops it twice. And you can see Fletcher getting visibly angry, just glaring at him. So after the second drop of the drumstick, Fletcher comes over and he's like, yo, show's over. It's at this point that Andrew Neiman, he fucking tosses the big, I don't remember what you call the main drum. The big one that you use the foot to pound on. So he throws that shit out of the fucking way. He's like, I'm going to get this dude. You could see the fucking hate in Andrew Neiman's eyes. And he runs up and he tackles his instructor, Fletcher, on the ground. He's screaming in his face. He's threatening him. And then the other band members drag Andrew off of Fletcher. It's a very dramatic scene. But the beauty of this movie is you feel every fucking scene as if you are Andrew. Like, you feel so bad for this kid because he's trying his ass off. But no matter what, this instructor is never satisfied. Like, it literally has to be perfect. So yeah, he gets dragged off the stage. So where we are in the movie at this point, we see an emotional arc for Andrew, okay? Like I said from the beginning, he started off shy. He started off non-confident. And now he's confident. He's obsessed. He wants to be the greatest. So he lashes out on Fletcher. And that's what happened in that scene. He just wants to fucking strangle this dude because all this dude has done, he's empowered him, yes. But he's empowered him through mental and physical abuse. You know, like, there are certain ways to empower people, to push people, but this motherfucker, Fletcher, has gone overboard. So now we get to the final act of the movie. This is where the film goes from amazing to fucking legendary. So after that attack on Fletcher, other kids and authorities, they investigate Fletcher. They find out he's been doing this to kids for years, verbal and physical abuse. So authorities, they want to naturally speak to Andrew because all that shit that happened on the stage. Andrew is like, oh no, I'm not going to rat him out. I'm not going to do this, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go against him. I don't want to testify against him. Then his father comes in, who's played by Paul Reiser. You would know him from, I believe, Aliens. He was also in a sitcom in the 90s. I can't remember the fucking name of it. But Paul Reiser, you would know him if you saw him. So anyways, that's his dad. His dad is like, you have to do this. You can't let that happen and him get away with it. So finally, Andrew's like, okay, I'll testify. So let's fast forward a few days. I'm guessing a week or so, but in all honesty, in the movie, they aren't really frank about the passage of time. So Andrew ends up watching Fletcher in this random piano club, almost like a jazz cafe, a piano room with a dining room. Okay, so he's listening to Fletcher play. Fletcher's fucking amazing on the piano. This is the first time we actually see Fletcher playing an instrument, so we know now. Oh, he has this background. He's a really good musician, which we all kind of thought at the time. So it's at this pivotal point that they both sit down and talk. Fletcher is being super nice. He invites Andrew to perform with his new jazz troupe. So you're thinking now, oh wow, maybe Fletcher is a good guy. Nope. Big fucking nope. That's a big misconception there. Young Andrew falls for it because he's still a kid at heart. He's very easy to convince. He wants the approval of Fletcher. I think that Andrew looks at Fletcher as if he's a father figure, as if he's a better role model for him than his own father. I think that's the basis of the movie. So he's dealing with all this shit, getting beat up and screamed at. He's used to it at this point. So Fletcher accepts to join the jazz troupe, okay? He's like, yeah, why not? Maybe this dude is being genuine. So the last part of the movie, it takes place in another musical performance theater. So they're all on stage about to start. Fletcher walks up to Andrew and he says in like a low tone, he goes, I fucking know it was you. And Fletcher, the look on Fletcher's face is like, oh, fuck. Should have known. So Fletcher knows that Andrew is the one who gave the story to the authorities about the abuse. So Fletcher walks up to the front of the stage. This is the instructor. He tells the crowd, we are going to try a new song tonight to start this show. Andrew, you could see the fear. He's like, oh my God, I don't know this song. So basically, to sum it up, Fletcher is like, I'm going to fuck this dude over. He fucked me over. I'm going to fuck him over. I'm not going to give him the music notes for the song. So Andrew, he's trying to play with the rhythm. He has no fucking clue what's going on in the song. So he's fucked at this point. The song ends. Fletcher is satisfied. You can see that he, like in his eyes, you can see the satisfaction on his face that he fucked over Fletcher. So like I said, the song ends. Fletcher tried to ruin Andrew's career. You know what Andrew says to himself? He says, obviously this isn't in the movie, but this is what I think he's saying. He says, fuck you, Fletcher. He starts jamming out intensely on the drums, like almost like a big drum solo that you would see in the 80s, 70s, whatever. He starts playing this solo fucking drum, this solo drum act. It's amazing. He's fucking hitting everything. You could see Fletcher staring at him like, oh shit, what did I do? Okay. So this goes on for a few minutes. Andrew, he's basically playing, he's drummer and he's playing the instructor. He's telling the other jazz members what song he's playing so they can play along with him. It's a badass scene. I fucking love this scene. One of the most recently best movie scenes I can remember is this. This is up there with Breaking Bad when Gus gets half blown up and half of his face is fucking burnt off. This whole ending and scene remind me of that, like the feeling I got. So anyways, so he's doing this fucking phenomenal solo. Song ends again, okay? You see Fletcher walk up to talk to the crowd to announce what the next song is. And as soon as he gets to the mic, Andrew starts jamming out like I can't really say the drum thing, but that's basically what was happening. He starts going off on this another solo, but this solo is so intense because he tried to do this. So there's a scene earlier in the movie where Fletcher has all three drummers, okay, going back and forth. Try this, go faster, you're not fucking fast enough. He's screaming at these kids like, go fucking faster, you're not going fast enough. At one point he throws a chair at the kid. So this Andrew is playing this song that he didn't do good at earlier in the movie, but he's fucking nailing it. You could see in his fucking eyes, like the fierceness, the love for drumming. And this kid's going nuts on the drums, okay? So he nails this performance. And the last thing we see in the movie, we see Andrew. We see like a full frontal facial shot of Andrew jamming out and just staring at fucking Fletcher. And then the camera pans over. We see Fletcher's, only his eyes and the top of his mouth. Like, so picture his face is cut in half. You only see the top half. And you see his fucking eyes and the wrinkles as he's smiling, okay? So us as viewers are like, fucking hell yes! He actually made Fletcher proud for that brief fucking second where he smiled. And just like Andrew, the whole fucking movie, all he wanted to do was impress this douchebag instructor who didn't give a fuck about this dude. But we see him like literally fight through the abuse and the mental and the physical abuse and just show this performance. And this performance was seriously breathtaking. I don't know if the actor Miles Teller practiced this drum solo, but man, it was so realistic. It felt so real that listen, I love cinema. I've seen some amazing movies, but this movie, something about it, I think it's the mental health, I think it's the emotional edge that they added to this film. It wasn't like an exciting movie, but it was so riveting. I think that's the best word to explain this movie, riveting. So now I'm going to give my final score and review. I absolutely love the ending, and the movie as a whole was fucking perfect. I don't like to call films perfect, believe me, but this movie is perfect. It's a 10 out of 10. 10 pita breads out of 10. This movie pushes its way into my top 15 movies, and I've been watching movies since I was maybe 7, so that's 32 straight years of watching movies, okay? Let's just say on average 9 to 10 movies a year, okay? This is in my top 15. It honestly is. The acting, the writing, the directing, the cinematography. What a goddamn masterpiece. What a goddamn masterpiece. Like I said in the beginning, holy fuck. If I could literally write a review on like Rotten Tomatoes, it would start with holy fuck. Like I said, 10 out of 10. What a ride. If you have Netflix, watch this movie if you haven't already. If you have watched it already, watch it a second time. Watch it a fucking third time. I know I'm going to. Yeah. I cannot support this movie anymore. I cannot preach or praise this movie anymore than I have. So thank you for listening. I fucking love you guys. Thank you for supporting me. Until next time, stay positive, stay hopeful, stay positively hopeful. Goodbye. Thank you for listening in, my fellow Pitas. Follow me on Facebook at Pita Joe Podcast, all lowercase, no spaces. Instagram, Pita, Joe, podcast, all lowercase letters. And on Twitter, at Pita Joe Podcast, all capitals. Like and subscribe on all the apps the Pita Joe Podcast is streaming on, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Apple, Google Podcasts, Amazon Audible, Samsung, TuneIn, Player FM, and last but not least, Podchaser. Thank you.